All right, welcome in live, everybody. We're here live from Bossier City, Louisiana for the 2024 DYB Division I Ozone World Series. This matchup between Mississippi and South Carolina. Both of these teams moving into the losers bracket after they lost yesterday. Mississippi to North Carolina, South Carolina losing to Georgia. And so these teams now match up here for a chance to stay alive here in the Ozone World Series. First pitch fouled away by Ben Wright. Winner of this game will move on to play later today at 4:30 back here on this field. They will play the loser of the North Carolina-Alabama game going on field 9 currently. That pitch high in for a ball. For South Carolina, we'll see their lineup look like this. Number 1, Ben Wright. Number 11, Ethan DeRocha. Number 6, McKinley Wade. Number 44, Milo Straninger. Number 12, Jake Thompson. Number 31, Kyler Brunson. That pitch sails in high for a ball. Number 2, Easton Shealy. Number 7, Jackson Howard. Number 24, Dalton Edwards. Number 8, Charlie Staggs. And number 11, Miles Grugan. Pitcher on the mound for Mississippi is Lawson McGahee. That pitch high and outside for a ball as well. Completing the batter was Blee Barnes. Over at first, they got Jaden Chamberlain. Second is Burke Williams. Third is Tate Williams. And that pitch in for a strike, full count now for Ben Wright. At short, we got Mason Waldrop. In left, Corion Brumfield. Center field, Brody Ponder. And in right is Tyler Simmons to begin the defense for Mississippi. This pitch hit back up and gets through the middle of the gap right past second base. And so Ben Wright will be a leadoff runner for South Carolina after his single to begin the game. We're going to get a courtesy runner already as he is the catcher. And that will be our first hit of the game.
Now batting number 11, Ethan DeRocha.
For Lawson McGahee. Ethan DeRocha now at the plate for South Carolina. McKinley Wade, the other man due up this inning. That pitch high in the zone for a strike. So now it's an 0-1 count for DeRocha. That pitch outside for a ball, 1-1. Now they count to DeRocha. Second pitch, or excuse me, third pitch of the at-bat to DeRocha is that top outside corner for a strike. 1-2 now, the count. McKinley Wade on deck. 1-2 pitch, sails high for a ball. 2-2 the count for Lawson McGahee. The pitch drops out of the zone for a ball. So that'll be our second full count to start this game. Last one resulted in a Ben Wright single. We'll see what happens with this pitch from McGahee to DeRocha. And it'll be a strikeout looking. So there's one down for Lawson McGahee as he records his first strikeout and first out of the game. Ethan DeRocha will go down looking. First pitch from McKinley Wade. He's going to swing and miss for a strike. big swing and miss from McKinley Wade. Brings it to an 0-2 count. Runner advances over to second, so he will get a stolen base. But again, an 0-2 count now for McKinley Wade. McKinley, one of the few people who have hit a home run on this field. He hit a home run against Texas. An outstanding game for him that game. Recorded a home run and 2 doubles. And that one trying to take another home run out with that swing. Just misses it though as he strikes out, and so that records the second strikeout now for Lawson McGahee. And now we will see starting pitcher Milo Straninger come up to the plate for South Carolina. First pitch high and outside for a ball.
Now batting number 44, Milo Straninger.
The 1-0 pitch from McGahee. High. Lifted up on the left field side. Going to get out of play for a foul ball. That'll even the count now at 1-1. One pitch to Straninger. That pitch up high for a ball. You can see Bly Barnes standing up basically behind the plate there, looking to get that pitch. He's done it a couple times. Try to get batter swinging on that high fastball. That pitch comes in for a strike, evens the count at 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on second for Milo Straninger, excuse me. And he gets a big swing and miss there. Lawson McGahee, after starting off with a leadoff single, records 3 straight strikeouts for the next 3 batters. So now we'll see what this Mississippi offense can do as we head to the bottom half of the first. You're watching the 2024 DYB World Series right here. All right, we're back, bottom half of the first now, as Lawson McGahee recorded 3 strikeouts in that top half of the first. Work out a little bit of a lineup changes for both squads. There was a couple errors for each side, and so they're going to get that fixed now. And now we will see.
Yes, sir. We fixed the mishap.
First pitch fouled off for a strike. And so 0-1 now the count. It is Milo Straninger, the guy on the bump here for South Carolina. We saw him pitch our second day against Texas. A very dominant pitcher. Great off-speed movement on all of his pitches, and he can work that fastball as well. Another tall, lanky pitcher that can has those different release points and make it hard for these batters. And so he's going to be a key piece. As you see that other pitch, that breaking ball, looks as if it's a slider even, where it's coming on that inside part of the plate to the batter and then just comes all the way outside for a strike. And so Brody Ponder records the first out of the inning for Mississippi after a Milo Straninger strikeout. That pitch high for ball one. For Mississippi, it was Brody Ponder, Burke Williams, Mason Waldrop, Bly Barnes, Bryce McGinnis, Tate Williams. Second pitch, fastball down the middle, swing and strike. 1-1 now the count. Lawson McGahee, Jaden Chamberlain, Corey on Brumfield, Tyler Simmons, Lane Winbright, and Jaden Vernado. The lineup for Mississippi. Second pitch, a called strike. So 1-2 now the count for Milo Straninger. That pitch down the middle. Fastball for another strikeout for Milo Straninger. And he records his second strikeout. And so that'll bring up Mason Waldrop for this Mississippi team.
Now batting number 7, Mason Waldrop.
Another slider by Straninger. Goes outside. So 1-0 the count now. Second pitch, strike. 1-1 now the count. Ben Wright completes the battery for South Carolina. Over at first, they got Jake Thompson. Second base, Jackson Howard. Third, Kyler Brunson. That put in play over to second base. And that'll record third out of the inning. 1-2-3 inning for Milo Straninger. And the South Carolina defense, though, headed to the top of the second, trying to put some runs up now. We'll be back for the 2024 DYB World Series right after this. All right, we're back. Top of the second now. Mississippi takes back the field for their defensive side of things. All right, so some defensive changes for Mississippi. They will be taking out Tyler Simmons, Corey on Brumfield, and Tate Williams. And they'll be bringing in Bryce McGinnis, Lane Winbright, and Jaden Vernado. Not exactly sure where they're coming in at, but changes nonetheless. First pitch for Jake Thompson. He fouled away down the right field side. So it's now an 0-1 count. Pitch by Lawson McGahee sails up high. So just now getting to start the second inning. Lawson McGahee already at 22 pitches. His first two batters, he worked his count full both of those times, and so it allowed his pitch count to get high, and seems like we might be seeing sort of the same thing to start with Jake Thompson. And so that's going to be the biggest thing, is what they want to do with Lawson McGahee's pitch count, as he can be dominant as he throws a strike there. Like that top half of the first, he gave up a leadoff single, but then struck out the next 3 after that. And so it can be a good centerpiece for Mississippi. It's just going to come down to pitch count at the end of the day. It seems like ground ball over to third base. Throws it across the diamond for the first out of the inning. So there will be 1 down for Kyler Brunson, number 31, the third baseman.
Number 31, Kyler Brunson.
Thompson, Brunson, and Shealy, the men due up this inning. That pitch high and away for a ball, 1-0. Now the count quickly for Kyler Brunson. Second pitch comes down the middle for a strike. Count even at 1. This ball hit right over the third baseman's head, going to get it out to left field. And Kyler Brunson will record the second hit of the game for South Carolina. So that'll be a base runner for Easton Shealy.
Now batting number 2, Easton Shealy.
First pitch from McGahee. Comes high for a ball. So 1-0 the count. Houston. Second pitch. Called strike. 1-1 now. Looked like Brunson thought about running over there. Over at first, getting a stolen base for himself. Decided to hold back though. That pitch sails high and outside for a ball. 2-1. Now the count for Shealy. Jackson Howard, the on-deck man, playing second base. Recorded the last out of the bottom half of the first. That pitch sails high for a ball. 3-1. Now to Easton Shealy. And again, Lawson McGahee working himself into high pitch at bats. 32 now for the righty. That pitch down the middle and we're full. So full count to Easton Shealy. Lawson McGahee not looking to allow another base runner. That one fouled back by Easton. Remains 3-2. That one in the higher part of the zone. Possibly could have been a ball called. The payoff pitch. This one also fouled back. So 3-2 still. South Carolina got their offense rolling in their first game against Texas on Saturday. That's kind of slowed down yesterday against Georgia, where their pitching just kind of took over and kind of put South Carolina out of it. As that is going to be a walk, and now we'll have runners on first and second, and that'll put a runner in scoring position for Jackson Howard. That is Lawson McGahee's first walk. Again, hear those planes flying over as we are next to the Barksdale's Air Force Base. Jackson Howard now, this first pitch he sees fly out of center field. He's going to miss it. Just out of his glove. But they were all expecting a catch. And so runners only advance up one base. And that'll leave a Bases loaded opportunity for Jackson Howard. First pitch is a strike.
Mississippi pitcher now has 38 pitches.
So Lawson McGahee now at 38 pitches. Bases loaded, 1 out. See what Mississippi has planned in this situation. Foul ball. 0-2 now.
Now batting number 24, Dalton Edwards.
For Dalton Edwards. Dalton not in the field just yet. 0-2 count. That one fouled back out of play. Count remains 0-2. And he's now at 40 pitches. And we will not see any movement out of the Mississippi dugout. So Lawson McGahee, he's their guy moving forward. This one grounder back to the shortstop. He kind of bobbles it. Gets the tag out over at second. Makes the play over at first to record the double play. And Mississippi gets out of a tight jam to allow no runs to come across. And so now we'll head to the bottom of the second after a huge double play out there by by Mason Waldrop. And so we'll head to the bottom of the second. We'll be right back for the 2024 DYB World Series right after this. All right, Milo Straninger and the South Carolina defense back on the field. Lee Barnes, the leadoff man
Number 17, Lee Barnes.
for Mississippi. Bryce McGinnis, Tate Williams also due up for the Mississippi offense. First pitch from Blee fouled back for a strike. 0-1 quickly the count. Again, huge play there by Mason Waldrop to record that double play and get Mississippi out of a bases loaded jam. Keep the score, even at 0. Slider there by Milo Straninger comes in for a strike. Oh-2 pitch. It's going to be a foul tip catch. And so that'll record Milo Straninger's 3rd strikeout of the game. So Bryce McGinnis, now the man for Mississippi. That first pitch just a little outside, according to the umpire. So 1-0 for Bryce McGinnis. That pitch just fouled down first base line. He just kind of fought that one off and rolled down the first base line. That made an interesting noise. I hadn't heard something like that. This one fouled back as well. And so 1-2 now the count after 2 foul balls from Bryce McGinnis. Tate Williams on deck. The 1-2 pitch. In there for a strike. Beautiful pitch there by Milo Straninger to record his 4th strikeout now. So that'll bring in third baseman Tate Williams. Slider sails outside for a ball.
Tate Williams.
That one hit up in the air, up to right field. McKinley Wade able to track it down and record the final out of the bottom half of the 2nd. We will head to the top of the 3rd, not before we have a 5-minute hydration break. And so while we wait, we'll come back to the field and we'll return to action after that break is over. You're watching the 2024 DYB World Series live from Bossier City, Louisiana. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. We're here for the top of the third after our hydration break. It'll be Charlie Staggs, Miles Grugan, and Ben Wright. The gentlemen due up for South Carolina. Lawson McGahee still the man on the mound for Mississippi. There he got in a little bit of a tight jam there in that top half of the second, but defense was able to help him out. First pitch fouled back by Staggs, so it'll quickly be an 0-1 count. McGahee the pitch, low and outside, 1-1. Now for Staggs. Staggs played a little bit of left field so far this game. That pitch fouled back as well, 1-2. Now for Charlie Staggs. Fourth pitch. Comes up, but gets him to swing. Fouled back again for Staggs. Count stays 1-2. That pitch gets him to swing. Swing and miss. Records Lawson McGahee's fourth strikeout of the game. Makes him even with Milo Straninger. And that'll bring up Miles Grugan.
Now batting number 10, Miles Grugan.
Played a little bit of left field as well so far this game. That pitch in for a strike. Just at the top of the zone for Grugan. Second pitch from McGahee. Gets a big cut out of Grugan. So quickly 0-2 now for McGahee. Looking to add to his strikeout total. And that one also in for strikes. Make it 5 now for Lawson McGahee. All right, and then after that strikeout from Miles Grugan, we'll return to the top of the order with Ben Wright.
Now batting number 1, Ben Wright.
Ben Wright, 1 for 1. Worked the count full his last time up and then ended up with a single. Sees that first pitch for a ball. After this pitch, after that pitch, McGahee's now at the 50 pitch mark. Second pitch, high for a ball, 2-0. Now for Ben Wright. Third pitch of the at-bat. In there for a strike, 2-1. Yeah, he's done a good job of getting behind in the count early and fighting his way back. So now 2-1 here. This one hammered up through the gap out to left field. And so Ben Wright will be on now as he's 2 for 2 with 2 singles. And looks to be a spark for the South Carolina offense. And so, going to get a meeting on the mound now between Coach Stephen Williams and his pitcher, Lawson McGahee. Coaches from Mississippi as well, Chris Williams and Bill McGahee. Manager Jeff Howard, Dan DeRosa, and Chad Staggs are the coaching staff for the South Carolina team. And now we'll see Ethan DeRosa step into the box for South Carolina. His first time up, he struck out looking. Was the first strikeout recorded for Lawson McGahee. He starts with a 1-0 count. Runner over there on first. Trying to scratch in this first run in our game. Second pitch, a high and outside for a ball as well. 2-0 now. Swing and a miss there from DeRocha. 2-1 now. DeRocha visibly upset last time he struck out. Looking to make up for that in this at bat. Big swing and a miss there. 2-2. Now the count for Lawson McGahee. Again, trying to retire another base runner that he's put on. 2-2 pitch. This one hammered in the gap. Heading out to right field. Runners are dancing to third. And so a big 2-out single. Headed by Ethan DeRocha. That's runners on the corners. More importantly, a runner in scoring position for big power hitter McKinley Wade.
Now batting number 6, McKinley Wade.
McKinley kind of cooled down in yesterday's game against Georgia after having a huge one against Texas with that home run and 2 doubles. First pitch, top of the zone, he's taking a hack at for strike 1. So the 0-1 count to Wade. Runners going. And DeRocha will take second easily. So now runners in scoring position on both ways, on second and on third. 1-1 count now for number 6 McKinley Wade. That pitch high and outside as well. 2-1 now. Again, Blee Barnes kind of standing up to receive those pitches high in the zone and not getting those calls. That one fouled. Excuse me, just swing and a miss. So it's 2-2 now. Ball got away, but not far enough to allow the runners to advance. 2-2 count. 2 outs. Runners on second and third. McKinley Wade trying to bring in these first runs for the South Carolina team. That one sails high. Full count now. Again, both of these teams on the elimination side of things. Winner moves on to face the winner of the loser, excuse me, of North Carolina, Alabama later today at 4:30. That pitch outside, and so McKinley Wade will be taking first base, and that'll bring the bases loaded for Milo Straninger, starting pitcher for South Carolina.
Now batting number 44, Milo Straninger.
And so Lawson McGahee's now at 64 pitches as well, after he eclipsed that 65 mark. He'll be done for the next 48 hours if Mississippi is able to continue their season. Straninger receives that first pitch for a strike. That pitch high for a ball. You could hear Lawson McGahee put everything into that pitch. Trying to get that fastball to hit the zone. Off speed. Gets Straninger swinging. 1-2 now the count. 1-2, 2 outs. Bases loaded. Straninger trying to help himself out. That pitch high for a ball. Again, McGahee putting everything into that one. He loves those high fastballs. They look nice to the batter's eyes, and so trying to get him to swing. Straninger just pulls that one foul. Just a tad early on that one. He waits just a second longer, and that ball is down the left field line, and that's scoring 2, maybe 3 runs for the South Carolina team. So 2-2 still the count. Okay, he gets set. Pitch. Past the third baseman. It's going to go down the line. 1 run's going to come in. Make it 2. McKinley waits, hammering home. That's 3. And a 3-run RBI double for Milo Straninger. Puts the South Carolina team up first. Huge 3-run double for Milo Straninger, like we talked about that earlier pitch. He was just a tad early on. He waited a second longer on that one and pulled it down the line. Was able to get 3 RBIs out of it. And so now Miles Grugan is over there on second base to run for the pitcher. Jake Thompson, the man in the box now. He grounded out to the third baseman his last time up. This time grounds out, not grounds out, but hits a ground ball over to the third baseman. Runner advances over to third, trying to get the throw over there. Not in time. That ball's going to get away too. And that'll send Jake Thompson over to second base. But not before it is a 4-0 ball game in favor of this South Carolina team. And so it'll be a single for Jake Thompson as he advances. 4 runs now for South Carolina. They found their bat. First pitch by Kyler Brunson. He fouls out of play. Runner's moving over to third after that ball. So now a 1-1 count for Kyler Brunson. In the lineup's first time around, Kyler was only the second person to get a hit off of McGahee, and now offense is picked up for sure. This ball popped up over to the first baseman. He'll make the easy catch and record the third out. South Carolina, though, puts up 4 and will come back out and looks to keep that lead as they face this Mississippi team as they look to answer. You're watching the 2024 DYB World Series live from Bossier City, Louisiana. We'll be right back after this.
Down line number 42, Lawson McGee.
All right, we're back. Lawson McGahee up to the plate for the first time, looking to help himself out and rally back after South Carolina put up 4 in the top half of the third. First pitch, he's swinging after a big strikeout from, or a big strike, excuse me, from Milo Straninger. You guys due up. This inning for Mississippi. Another big hack by McGahee. Is McGahee, Chamberlain, and Brumfield. And so we'll see what these guys can do from here. 0-2 pitch. High for a ball. 1-2 now the count. 1-2 pitch. Another big swing and a miss. Records the first out. At the bottom of the third. 5 strikeouts now for Milo Straninger. Evens up with Lawson McGahee. And that'll bring up Jaden Chamberlain, first baseman. Shows bunt. First pitch comes in for a strike on that outside edge.
Now batting number 27, Jaden Chamberlain.
And this is where we can see him utilize that slider some more against righties. So it comes across the plate like that. That one goes across a little bit too much for a ball, and so 1-1 now the count. Those sliders where they just kind of start inside on your body and then work their way all the way out across the plate are very deceptive to the eye and very tough to get contact on, especially because they're not at the same speed that you're thinking. And so 1-2 count now after that foul ball. Goes at it with a high fastball for a strikeout. And that'll record the second out of the third inning. So that is now 6 for Milo Straninger. Big swing and a miss there to Corian Brumfield. Starts with an 0-1 count.
13, Corian Brumfield.
The 0-1 pitch. Brumfield tries to bunt that one down quickly. 0-2 for Milo Straninger. Tyler Simmons, the man on deck. If Brumfield's able to reach base. Another slider. Beautiful pitch. Hits that zone. And 3 up, 3 down. All recorded outs by strikeout for Milo Straninger. 9 batters he's faced, 9 outs recorded so far. We'll head to the top of the 4th, where South Carolina looks to add to their lead. We'll be right back after this. All right, we're back for the top of the 4th. Brody Ponder now on the mound for Mississippi, as who will look to attack this South Carolina offense now. Easton Shealy, Jackson Howard, and Dalton Edwards, the gentlemen due up for South Carolina. Lawson McGahee finishes this game with 3 innings pitched, 4 hits allowed, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, and 4 runs. And so we'll see what Brody Ponder can do with this South Carolina lineup. And Easton Shealy will look to attack the new pitcher. First pitch Ponder throws is the ball. Inside and low. So quickly 1-0 for Ponder. He steps off. Looks like we're having some signal mix-ups, and so we're going to have a quick talk between the catcher and the pitcher to get those ironed out. All right. Ready now. 1-0 pitch for Ponder. That one fouled back. 1-1. Another count. Over on field 9 in the winter side of things, you got Alabama beating North Carolina currently 32. This pitch hammered out into center field, excuse me, for the first out of the inning. So she'll go down with a fly out. That'll bring up Jackson Howard, number 7.
Now batting number 7.
Howard
Jackson Howard.
played a little bit of second base today. He's come in and out at times. High pitch. High. But he gets a big swing and miss. Or a strike. 0-1 quickly the count. Time for Howard. This Mississippi team coming into the loser's bracket after losing to North Carolina yesterday. South Carolina losing to Georgia. They'll play later tonight against the winner of that North Carolina-Alabama team happening. North Carolina-Alabama game happening over on field 9. And so that pitch by Howard fouled back. 0-2 now. Count to him. Winner of this will face the loser of that game. The 0-2 pitch on the outside. 1-0, or 1-2, excuse me now. For Jackson Howard. Dalton Edwards, the man on deck. This pitch right down the middle. Gonna get into the gap. In left center. So, 1 out, single for for Jackson Howard. And so, I'm going to get a hit for him. Coach going to come over and talk to his pitcher and catcher again, making sure that they're on the same side of things. It doesn't seem like the pitch is coming in or what's being signaled, and so they're trying to make sure everybody's on the same page here.
Now batting number 24.
So now we'll see Dalton Edwards step into the box. He was the one that grounded into that bases loaded double play last time up for South Carolina. First pitch he sees, he fouls back. 0-1 count to him. Grounded it over to the shortstop, and he just ran it over and took it for himself. And Mason Waldrop ran over to second, got the first out there, and then threw it across to end that inning and get him out of the jam there in that second half. Edwards calls time there. Played a little bit of second base today. And a Pitch he sees low for a ball. 1-0. Or 1-1, excuse me. Now the count for Edwards. One runner on first. One out. This ball hit back to the first baseman. He's going to throw over to second. And they will get another double play. And so the ball grounded over to first base, throwing over to second to get the force out there, and then just in time to get the other force out back at first. We'll head to the bottom of the first. We'll see if Mississippi can rally after a huge double play to end the inning. Well, you're watching the 2024 DYB World Series. We'll be right back after this. All right, here we are, bottom of the fourth. Mississippi now up, looking to fix some things and put some runs on the board. Milo Stranager just been dominant so far to start this game. Fastball down the middle, gets a strikeout.
Tyler Simmons.
Second pitch. It's another big swing and miss. So now 0-2 quickly the count for Stranager. Working strikes into his count very easily. Get the breaking ball here. That one high and inside. And that is strike three. And that'll be the first out of the bottom half of the first. As Tyler Simmons goes down on strikes. Simmons, Winbright, and Vernado. The guys due up for Mississippi this inning. First pitch is a ball. Winbright shows bunt there. Now 7 strikeouts for Stranager. That one comes in low for a ball. Excuse me, Stranager has 8 strikeouts. So 2-0 quickly to Winbright. Bunts that one down over to the third baseman. And he'll get it over across for the second out of the inning. And that'll bring up the 12th hole, Jaden Vernado.
Now batting number 1, Jaden Vernado.
Shows bunt as well. Able to pull back just in time. And so it'll be a 1-0 count now for number 1 Vernado. Stranager now at 37 pitches. That pitch comes inside, gets a big swing and miss out of him.
South Carolina pitcher now
So Stranager getting close to that 40 pitch mark. We'll see what Coach Howard decides to do with his man. That pitch goes away out of the zone. 2-1. Now the count for Stranager. Leadoff hitter Brody Ponder is on deck. That pitch is just low. 3-1 now the count. And Stranager has reached that 40 pitch mark. And so his manager Jeff Howard will come out and look to pull Stranager. An incredible performance by Stranager on the mound today. And he just unfortunately reaches that 40 pitch mark, and so that will be the last that we see of him on the mound. We'll take a quick break and as we see who will be the new arm for South Carolina when we return on the 2024 DYB World Series. All right, welcome back. Jackson Howard, now the man on the bump for South Carolina, looking to continue what Milo Stranager has started. He's going to start with a 3-1 count to Jaden Vernado. Stranager went 3 2/3. No hits, no walks, no runs. And gave up 8 strikeouts, or tallied 8 strikeouts throughout his time. And so that pitch by Jackson Howard to strike. So now we're full. And Howard looking to finish it off right here. Not going to be able to, and so he will walk Vernado. And so that'll be the first walk of the game for South Carolina. And so now we are back to the leadoff spot for Mississippi. Brody Ponder.
Now batting number 9.
Pickoff move.
Ponder.
There by Jackson Howard. Over on Vernado over there at first. Vernado running. Pitch is going to sail a little high, and so runner does advance to second. And it'll be a 1-0 count. And so Vernado was the first base runner of the day for Mississippi and is now the first runner in scoring position for Mississippi. And so they're looking to capitalize on that. That ball out to right field, going to find a gap. Vernado coming around, and he will score. And so Mississippi capitalizes on the pitching change needed to be made by South Carolina. And they put a run on the board. 4-1 now the score. Still in favor of South Carolina after that RBI single from Brody Ponder.
Bert Williams.
Another pickoff move over there at first. So that was the first hit of the ball game for Mississippi. Runner going again. Gonna get him in time, and so the third out will be recorded on the base pass. Not before Mississippi was able to put a run on, though. And so we'll head to the top of the fifth after our 5-minute hydration break. We'll be back right after this.
Ladies and gentlemen.
play with 9? No penalties?
Well, yeah, you can play with 9. There wouldn't be a penalty. I mean, they just have to skip them in the bat for like this minute.
Well, that's what the umpire said. I just needed to make sure everybody's on the same page because I had pulled him out of the starting
As
lineup.
long as their manager knows what's going on.
He said they're good.
You're good?
Yeah, take care of the kid. I'm good.
You're
Take
good.
care of the kid.
We still have 9. We still have 9.
And then
One's at
One of them with the
EMS, and the other
paramedics, and the
one's
other one's
that way. He tried to tough it out, but
I doubt the EMS is going to let them play this game.
play ball.
okay. Thank you.
Not if they're little.
No, I was
tell Jeff they took both boys off the book. So what numbers were they? 8 and 10.
The other one, maybe I'm probably. One with EMS. Really not too good over here.
Now batting number 1, Ben Wright.
All right, we're back. Might be a little confused, but while you're seeing Ben Wright back up after it was supposed to be Charlie Staggs and Miles Grugan, they unfortunately have both come down with some heat exhaustion, and so they're heading to the medical tent and going to be checked on right now. And so Ben Wright is now making his way to the plate for his third at bat. And so the way that it works is that Charlie Staggs and Miles Grugan are just going to fall out of the lineup. South Carolina still has 9 eligible players, and so they will continue playing. That pitch fouled off by Ben Wright. As you see now, also Ben Wright with the frog tog on his neck, making sure that he stays cool. And so it's a hot day here in Louisiana, and so these kids are toughing it out, especially Wright and other players that are battling to stay alive here in the World Series. That pitch also fouled off, so now a 1-2 count. Brody Ponder's still the man on the mound from Mississippi. Wright, DeRocha, and McKinley Wade, the 3 guys due up for South Carolina this inning now after those 2 injuries. That ball, bouncer over to third base, and he's going to let it go. And that will allow Ben Wright to slide in for a double. That one just got away from the third baseman, and Ben Wright took advantage of it. The leadoff double, and so he is 3 for 3 today. And he will stay over at second to be the runner.
Now batting number 11, Ethan DeRocha.
That pitch a ball. 1-0 the count now. Count now to DeRocha. That ball went the opposite way. Foul. So 1-1. That one goes off the end of his bat. Pitch outside for a ball. 2-1 now the count to DeRocha.